Hey, good morning, everybody. Hi. My name's Jake, that's James, that's Joe, and that's Yuri. We're the band, and we're going to deliver you some opening sing-along stuff in 30 minutes or less, and that means right now. Please sing along, because you all know this song possibly better than I do, and I need all the help I can get up here, okay? Let's do it. Yeah, and Kathy Ann's conducting that side of the room. Lord, prepare me to be a sanctuary, pure and holy, tried and true. With thanksgiving, I'll be a living sanctuary for you. Lord, prepare me to be a sanctuary, pure and holy, tried and true. With thanksgiving, I'll be a living sanctuary for you. Lord, prepare me to be a sanctuary, pure and holy, tried and true. With thanksgiving, I'll be a living sanctuary for you. Sanctuary for you. Sanctuary for you.
Pretty darn good. Those words are so powerful. See, sanctuary means safe place. Make me a safe place. Make me a safe place for those people who are doubting themselves. Make me a safe place for those people who are discovering themselves. And make me a safe place for those people who want to boast a little. Have you noticed how we hold back because we monitor who we're with, and is it safe to be myself? They know when you're safe. We have a sense. What if we had that prayer every day? I'm not sure I'd say, Lord, hey you, make me a safe place, because sometimes I'm judgmental. And sometimes I have opinions and I really want to help people along. I don't want to be safe, I just want to fix. How many of you have been there? Oh yeah, aren't we just a blessing to the world? People just want to sign up and be in front of us, don't they? Oh man. And Father, Mother, God within, make me safe to be myself, to myself, in myself, as myself. Let me know and remember that I will make mistakes, and yet I am not the mistake I make. I am not a mistake. I'm not a mistake. And sometimes I do things that I wish I hadn't, and I am not unworthy of love. And sometimes, I fall short of the expectation I had for myself that day. And I am still good enough to show up. Love, make me a sanctuary. Pure and holy, and always true. And may those who come into my awareness be blessed by my thoughts, my actions, and my responses. And if these ideas appeal to you, simply within your heart of hearts say yea and amen. And then it is done as you have requested. And so it is.
Good morning. I'm Reverend Don, and it's my pleasure to continue this theme of sanctuary as a part of the welcoming. For truly it is our intention from everyone involved to have a place where it's safe to come, to be in this place of spirituality and spirit and love and care for each other. That's what community is, and that's the Center for Spiritual Living, a community that is creating a safe space to be who we are and to grow and go beyond our walls and creating a better world for everyone. And you know what helps? Connection. Being able to connect with each other in a safe place, to be able to combine and see where we can be of service and focus, and that includes online and in this room, that we are able to then expand and multiply what we are able to do in our world in a way of creating safety for everyone. And we do that connection once a week in a really long email that comes out on Fridays, that if you let us know how to send it to you, you will not hit it delete. You will actually scroll all the way to the bottom because there's so much good stuff going on that we can't tell you about it from up here. But if you connect with us, then we get to include you in the family, and you get to choose where you want to show up and what lights your fire. Because I've been here long enough, there's always something going around here that I go, yeah, that one will be fun. Not that, but this one, yeah. And that's okay because we get to choose. And then the other thing I want to mention today, because it's really important to me, and that's prayer. So, and prayer is something that Kathy Ann just did. Actually, you could leave right now and you've gotten a really good message. Don't though, okay, including online. And today though, we have this afternoon from 12:30 to 2:30, our professional practitioners, prayer practitioners, are giving the opportunity to everyone who wants to be supported in prayer. And the good news, it's a 15-minute block. And the even better news is you don't got time for story. You come in, you sit down with a practitioner who's been trained to hear what your heart is calling, what you're trying to say. And they name your good with you. And you have a chance to be blessed through that presence in that cone of safety with a practitioner. And to see how that support can work through your life through the coming week. So if you've never had a prayer practitioner session, this is a great way to get one. If you've had bunches, here's another opportunity to get one. And for we know in this community that prayer makes a difference for good. And you'll hear more about it from Kathy Ann later, but just take it from an old guy who's done a lot of prayer. It works. And so thank you for being here in person and online. Enjoy your service and connect downstairs in community and online in the chat. Thank you for being here. Oh, great. Now I get to introduce Rob and Melissa. Oh, I was so excited. We've got great music today. This song, you're urged to sing. Actually, you're required to sing along. There's a buzzer in your seat if you don't. But anyway, Rob and Melissa will now move us into.
All right, so before we begin, I just wanted to take a moment to express my gratitude. Center for Spiritual Living is truly a sanctuary, and it has been for Melissa and I and for our Kirtan community now for almost a couple of years. So we've been coming every second Saturday night to sing Kirtan. So if you ever want to come and join us, we'd love to have you. But I'd just like to give a special thanks to Kathy Ann and to Patrick, who comes and joins us every time we come for our Kirtan, and everybody else here at CSL who makes this place so special. So, all right, let's go. Oh, and we've got special guest Teeson Min up here. Let's give them a round of applause. I used to think that I had to. I used to think it was my job. Somewhere I believed that loving God would be hard. But loving God is wonderful. Loving God is ecstasy. Thank God for my freedom. Oh Lord, the Spirit of God is upon me. Spirit of God is upon me. Oh, Spirit of God is upon me. Oh, Spirit of God is upon me. Oh, Spirit of God is upon me.
Don't need any prodding. I don't need any love. I wanna sing with all my heart. God is my all in all. Let go of my burden. Loving God has made me free. Blinded by the Spirit. Oh Lord.
that was wonderful. Thank you for being the choir. It was great. Loved it. So I just have to, I have a plan. I do have a plan. I do have a plan. So what? Anyway, I was listening to that song, and it reminded me of one of the sweetest moments I've had in Egypt. It was the last time we took a big group. I used to take big groups. Now I take small groups. It's more intimate, and we have more time and sacred places to ourselves because we don't have to, get people through. Yo, go through. I know it was holy. Get out of here. Anyway, make room for the next person. Get your buzz and go. But we'd meet in a big room, and we played this song. It was one of those places that had really great speakers, and it just blasted through everything. And we were playing this by Ricky Byers, and a man came up to me who is obviously Muslim, and he said, "That's the best song I've ever heard. Who sang it, and how can I have it?" See, the desire of the heart to touch something greater than ourselves is universal. When it goes beyond this religion or that religion. The call is the connection. And so I really honor that gentleman. And and that whole group, because obviously those 65 people were changing the room so that he could hear it in that way too. Isn't that interesting? So anyway, beyond all that, some of you are here and kind of newish, if not newish. That's like that guy from New York City said I'm Jewish. Anyway, but really you can be newish. And you might be wondering, what exactly is this place and how do you explain it? And that came up for me yesterday when I was at my barn, where I keep one of my horses, and a woman kind of snuck over to me and she said, "Can I ask you a personal question?" And I immediately said yes. I should have said, "Well, ask me first." I mean, I do have boundaries, you know. How personal? "I hear you're a minister." Now, that's not exactly personal, but I love it. She sort of sneaks out. If you notice that when people want to talk about religion or politics, they kind of sneak at you sometimes. No, politics, they usually go like this. But anyways, religion, they kind of sneak out at you. And so she sort of sneaks around and she said, "I hear you're a minister." Now, no one else at the barn has said that to me. So obviously the gossip is going on. You know, she's a minister. "I hear you're a minister." Yes, I am. "And what kind of minister?" And so I know she's asking, like, you know, what denomination. I said, well, we're actually trans-denominational. It's not interdenominational, because that denomination is Christian denominations. And we're not quite that. So you might be asking, so what are we? And today you'll really wonder. For those of you that have previewed first service, you know what I mean. It's like, huh? So we are a faith community that teaches a synthesis, meaning putting it all together, of the discoveries of science, the opinions of philosophy, and the revelations of religion. Now, I'm really grateful we don't say the opinions of religion. It's like the revelation, what was revealed. And not revealed so much through a prophet, but what's revealed over and over and over again from the stories that are told, because stories are soul food. I'm really into stories. I'm a Joseph Smith devotee. If the story happens over and over and over again and it's told for thousands and millions and, probably not millions, who knows, thousands of years, it's got something to it that the soul wants to hear. For instance, Lion King. Where do you think Lion King came from? Think Shakespeare. You never took a Shakespeare class. Hamlet. But it's older than that. You know what it is? It's Horus taking revenge on Set for the killing of his father Osiris. Old story. Old, and maybe even older than that. Who knows? Wild, huh? Stories keep being retold because there's something in them. So we take all of that, applied to human needs and aspirations, because otherwise we're just talking about stuff. Well, yeah, and does it make a difference? Are people's lives improved because of this that you're presenting? I'm really a type A. I want proof. I really am. By their fruits ye shall know them. Are people's lives improving? So it's not, well, people finally get a reward. No. How about now life is good? Because Jesus never said it was later. Never said it was later. The kingdom of heaven is here and now. You're just not watching. You don't even see it. It lies before you. So, anyway, in modern terms, I would say that we take ancient wisdom for healing hurts and building dreams. So if somebody says, what do you do on Sundays? Oh, no, in Seattle, they never do. What am I saying? They never say that. Never mind. You tell them anyway. No, really, do you know that Portland, Oregon, and Seattle, Washington are the most unchurched cities in the United States. More people go to church in Las Vegas. They know they've sinned. So nobody's going to say, what do you do on Sunday? It doesn't matter. But if somebody sneaks up on you and says, what do you believe? You might say, I believe that there is a way to take ancient wisdom for healing hurts and building dreams. Old stuff. And we are not the middle, but we're into Hanukkah, so I want to take a moment to recognize and honor anyone who's of Jewish tradition, maybe real Jewish tradition. And just tell you one of my favorite things that I heard from a rabbi who was talking about Hanukkah. It's not my story to tell, but we can gather something from that story. See, stories are told, and you can get things from them. I'm not Hindu. I'm going to tell you a minute part of a Hindu story today. But I'm not Hindu, but it doesn't mean I can't get something from it. You may not consider yourself Christian. It doesn't mean you can't get something from the teachings of Jesus. Whoa. I mean, really. There's, how many of you know that you throw the baby out with the bathwater by refusing to read old stuff? There's some good stuff in there, and I'm willing to find the nuggets and throw them at you. So, because I'm such a good person. Anyway, so Rabbi Ted was here speaking about Hanukkah. And this is the thing that so impressed me. And I don't know I know the story, blah, blah, blah. But this is what, I don't mean it that way. I know the story. I'm not going to tell you the story. But what I loved, and he said, the miracle was not that the oil burned for 8 days. The miracle was that somebody knew they would reclaim the temple and hid the oil. Somebody had hope. Somebody had hope that even though they were for Jewish people, really going through a hard time, because the Greeks were taking over their holy place. And what they would call desecrating it. And someone had the hope that they would reclaim it. Man, that's powerful. And when hope shows up, it really is a miracle. Because so many people are not willing to believe that anything will change. And that's why things don't change much, by the way, brothers and sisters. Because we don't believe in change. We want change, we hope for change, and we know they should change. But we don't really allow ourselves to expand beyond what's happening to hope a greater hope. And that person, whoever hid the oil, hoped a greater hope. This month is about hope, promises, and miracles. And hope is so important. It is the light at the end of the tunnel. And I love that metaphor. You know, my soul loves the story in a metaphor. Jesus knew that. He told stories, little parables, because you know what? The ineffable is hard to explain. The kingdom of heaven is impossible. You can't just give 5 words and explain the kingdom of heaven. The realm of I can is actually a better definition from the Aramaic. The realm of I can. And to a bunch of people who didn't believe they could, do you see how wild that was? So light. Light at the end of the tunnel. How many of you have been in tunnels? And how many of you, when you saw the light, you took a breath and you knew you could walk? See, we don't have to explain. You don't have to explain what you were going through. I don't have to explain that I was going through a physical thing. I don't have to explain that I was going through a divorce. I don't have to explain that I was going through another breakup. We all have tunnels. The shape and the length of the tunnel is all individual. But that light, that's universal. And not only do I want to have a light at the end of the tunnel for myself, because I'm pretty much in the light myself, but I look out at the world and I'm somewhat chagrined. But I see a light because God still exists. I see a light for generations to come, much, way beyond me. I think the people that we love the most, that we revere the most, saw light, if not for themselves, for the world. And they don't even know how it's going to show up. To get to the end, the hope is the light. To get through to that light is going to take some faith. But faith in the impossible can be tricky. Like I've got hopes and it looks impossible. So that's when I turn to promises. Promises. This is today. Last week was hope, today's promise. Promise, promise, promises. I have a little book of promises. I love old books. To me, they're like kitties. You just hold them on your lap and they do things to you. No, really. Look at this well-loved book. I got a used book and somebody loved this and actually did all the underlining for me. It was wonderful. I mean, look how much they loved it. And it's called A Runner's Bible. They took out all the bad stuff, just gave you the good stuff so you can run through it really quickly. And there's a whole chapter on promises. Be of good cheer, your sins will be forgiven. I will help you. I'm going to heal you. You're going to have power. You're going to be guided. You're going to never walk alone. All things are yours. Peace, you're going to have peace. You're going to be happy. And this is a wonderful one. And the Lord will light thy way in the darkness. I'm not talking about those. Because I actually found the book so I could talk about these. I thought, well, that's just way too complicated. Let's just get down to it because I only have a certain amount of time because I know that we are now conditioned by 60-minute programs and I can only have your attention for about 60 minutes and then I have to do like a little commercial and come back. So here it is. I went for one promise that is universal. Back to those revelations of religion. What promise has been revealed over and over and over again? And the promise that has been revealed over and over and over again is that ask believing and it will be given. Ask believing and it will be given. It shows up. I don't know too much about Sikhism or Jainism, but I know that it's in other things. I even have a book on anyway, it was a businessman who wrote a book based on Tibetan Buddhism and how to claim things within your soul. Remember that series? That was a good series, wasn't it? Yeah. But some of you are used to, grew up in a Judeo-Christian church, so you may have heard, ask believing and it will be given. What's the catchword in there? Yeah, darn it. There has to always be a loophole. It's not ask hoping. It's not ask wanting. It's ask believing. Ask believing. And most people believe what they already see. They believe what they already have experienced. They believe what they've already come up with. They believe what they've been thinking about for a long time. So they'll always get what they believe in, not what they're asking for. Now, this is what I love. Algebra. If seeing equals believing, believing equals seeing. Isn't that great? So if you change your belief, you're going to start to see it. And this is told in ancient wisdom, ancient stories. Once again, stories. I love stories. So let's take a story. Let's take Abraham. Abraham had been faithful and blah-de-blah. What I mean is condense that story. Abraham had been faithful. And God said, I'm going to give you a reward. I'm going to give you land for it. Because at that time, land was wealth. And so he took him to the top of the hill and he said, you will have for you and your descendants as far as you can see. Well, at the top of the hill, you might be able to see another hill. At the top of the hill, you can see a ways. How many of you have been to the top of the hills and you go, wow, that's really far? No, you're about 20 miles. Maybe 30 miles. It's not that big a deal. And the hills, I was there. There's not those big mountains. You're not at the top of Rainier. They're mole hills. I saw them, like big whoop. It's not that far. So what he was actually saying, what was actually being taught is, what can you imagine? What can you see in your mind? That will be yours. See, often we want something, but we still see the past. We want something, but we still see the obstacles. We want something, but we still see the hindrance. We want something, but we still see how those people aren't cooperating. That's what we see. And therefore, that's what we continue to believe. And guess what? That's what we'll continue to get. So to change that, ooh, baby, that's important. To let your heart speak, not your mind. To breathe into your heart and let your heart lead you into a future that you would want to live in and that you would want the future generations to live in. Plus, I love the story of Jacob. This was the story of the first treasure map. People think that treasure maps are like new. No, it's old. It's so old. It's old technology. It's like dusty. It's not a new thing. I'm not saying don't use it, but don't think like, oh, somebody invented a treasure map. No, Jacob, or whoever wrote about Jacob. So here's what happened. Jacob fell in love, and he's got 2 wives. I'm not going to go through the whole thing. But he's got a scoundrel of a father-in-law who he's worked for years, and finally says, I need to leave this place, and I need to take my wives and my concubine and their servants, and we need to leave, and I want my dowry. And the scoundrel of a father-in-law says, oh, of course. So next spring, when the goats are born, you can have all the spotted goats. Except all the goats are one color. Now, animal husbandry says solid goats produce solid goats. So what Jacob did is he put sticks and with colors, different colors on them, I'm not sure if they were spotted sticks off of a spotted tree, like maybe what's that one with the spots on it? Birch. I'm not sure if it was a birch tree or he cut into the bark so that there was different colored sticks all around the pond that the goats would go to water. So every time he saw the goats watering, he'd also see these spotted sticks. So he saw spots. Guess what happened in the spring? Spotted goats. And he took the herd with him. What? Do you see that he didn't succumb to what had been? He recreated what he saw so that he could believe in what he saw, so that he could have what he asked God for. Old technology. Old. Judge Thomas Troward says that the divine operation is always for expansion and fuller expression. I mean, I'm not sure that at the beginning of the 20th century that he actually understood that the universe was expanding at a rapid rate. But somehow he knew intuitively that the universe is expanding at a rapid rate. And I'm sure that he knew about the fuller expression because he studied nature. He said there's only two things that inform me. One is the Bible and one is nature. And nature is expressive. And if you think about there's a certain number of elements, and out of those elements comes everything that is created, whether it's, animals or plants, and all of those different species of animals and plants, and every species is different, and we're all different, and there's nothing that's the same as like, that's some expression. No cookie cutter anything. And then he goes on to say that it's my nature as well. So if you think you're stuck, we're not living our nature. Our nature is to expand beyond stuck. Our nature is to expand beyond what is. Our nature is to expand beyond what the history is and what the story is and who they are or whatever you're up against. So I would love for you to just kind of imagine wherever you have a problem that you're being asked to put a visualization of breakthrough around that problem. Openings. See openings. See something happening there. That if it happened, there wouldn't be a problem. So let's get back to asking, because it's still important to ask. It's important to ask. I'm going to use a story from the Ramayana. It used to be, I'd say, for the first 15 years of my ministry. In fact, actually, after I met a wonderful man named Bo Lazoff, I read the Ramayana every year. And every year I got something out of it because it's not my story. See, if it's not your story, you're free to get the goods. Like, what's it say to you? It's fun. I mean, I can get so stuck in the Christian story because I was born, well, I wasn't born Christian. I mean, I was born to a bunch of agnostics. And then I wanted to know about God, and they were like, Anyway. But sometimes I read the Bible and I want to say, well, that can't be true. It's like, who cares if it's true? It's real. Get the difference? It may not be a fact, but there's something real in a story that can feed your soul. So I read the Ramayana and I go, whoa, 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 food. Love it. So let's take this king, who I can't pronounce his last name. He's been ruling for thousands of years. He's got a beautiful city, a beautiful territory, beautiful people. They live in peace. Nobody's giving him any trouble at all. And after thousands and thousands of years, because that was in the age when they lived for thousands and thousands of years, it occurs to him that he does have a heart's desire, and that's to have a son. Now, he might have a lot of daughters, but we don't talk about it. Anyway, he wants a son. So he finally says, I'm going to ask for a son. So he goes to the priest, and he's going to ask for the son, and the priest says, oh, yes, I will pray for you, and we'll burn some oil, whatever, grease, something. Throw it on the fire. By the way, you can ask for a prayer practitioner to pray with you today, and no wood will be harmed. So, thank you for getting that joke. So, here's the deal. Thousands of years, perfectly happy. How many of you are perfectly happy? A few of you. I'm perfectly happy. But there are a few things that I would like. I want to have winning season with my horse. I've had some goods and I've had some bads. I want a winning season. That's all I want. Dear God, I don't need a new car. I don't need nothing. I don't need new clothes. A couple of cheap trinkets from Egypt and I'm good. But he finally listens to his heart. I want a son. He asks. That's important. It got me going that no matter how our life is, if we check inside, there might be something more. And I've worked with people who are so spiritual, so beautiful, so wonderful, so giving, so worshipful, and they don't ask. They're going through things and they don't ask. They're going through little things and they don't ask. They're going through big things and they don't ask. Asking works. Actually, it worked in so many beautiful ways because of his ask, a story of love and honor and salvation unfolded that is epic. That ask. And what it reminds me of, because I'm still feeding on this whole thing, and this is what I got last night, when we claim our good, we open up ways for more good to happen in ways we'll never know. Because that king died and never knew what it was that he instigated and created a domino effect that would save so many people. God's idea of good is so much greater than yours. But claim it. Claim it. So I want to ask you, what's deep inside your heart? Because, otherwise I'm just giving you a philosophy. But since I am a science of mind minister, I have to ask, how can this service help heal a hurt or build a dream? What is it that your heart asks for, longs for? It could start a whole new lovely story of love, honor, and salvation that goes way beyond you. Especially when you're longing for something such as a better world for everybody. I mean, I think that that's really the next spiritual evolution for us, is to realize that we are so connected, and what we do with our time and our space and our worship affects so many people. There's a whole thing that was happening in the last decade or maybe 15 years, I'm not sure, where people were putting a lot of attention on the law of attraction. And yeah, you can get stuff. And while that's true, it can also feed the ego to the place where you forget that you live in a collective. There's a more ancient law, and that is that what you give out, what you pray about, what you do in service and in contribution comes back to you, pressed down, multiplied, and running over. That's a more ancient law, or just as ancient. And then it benefits not just you, but a whole bunch of other people. So the good multiplies. So I invite you to pray. I don't know what I want to pray for. I want to pray for a world where there's no conflict. And it's not because people are squished and told not to be upset. That's not peace. I would love to have a world where there's caring and cooperation, consideration, compromise. What an idea. Now, this is why I led you here. I don't see it. I seldom see it. I don't see it in our history, our human history. Now, I know there's been pockets of groups that live that way, tribes, usually indigenous, close to the earth. But for what we call, civilization, it's usually conquer or be conquered. And so that's what I see. But you know what? God says, put some twigs around the pond of your life, girlfriend, and see people cooperating everywhere. See cooperation breaking out. And it may not happen in my lifetime, but it's not for my lifetime that I'm praying this. I'm praying it for humanity. When Martin Luther King gave his beautiful speech, I don't think he thought, in fact, I'm pretty sure the way he says it, I think he knew he would never see what he wanted to see. But what he saw is he saw a future for us. So you ready to pray? You ready to see the world you want to live in? Great. So here we go. Let's take a deep breath. And I lift mine eyes unto the hills, from whence cometh my salvation and the salvation of humanity from our own foibles, our own mistakes, our shortcomings. And I am so grateful that right here and right now, I am open to hearing the angels sing. Peace on earth and goodwill towards all people. And I am willing to see peace break out and cooperation become the norm. And I will keep my eyes, my spiritual consciousness on what is possible. And in so doing, I am open to the inspiration of God for heaven on earth, that I may see it, believe it, ask for it, claim it, and know it. And for all who are in agreement with that, who can allow themselves to see beyond the hill of what we are currently experiencing and let our imagination go into that which is still unformed. The future is still unformed. Let us declare peace on earth. Let us declare peace on earth. Goodwill to all, not just humans, but all animals and the planet itself. Let us see that people are waking up to our interconnection, our inner responsibility for not just our family and our friends, but for everyone. We are responsible for the goodwill on earth. And we are responding in love. Oh, yay, praise God and hallelujah. And this, I pray, both night and day. And I invite all of you who are willing to see this future, the future where cooperation is the norm, where compromise is the order of the day. Simply within your heart of hearts, join me in knowing that this is a possibility, therefore possible. Therefore, we will put our faith within it and let hope reign. And you join me by simply within your heart of hearts saying, and so it is.
sing some kirtan with you. And I say with you because kirtan is call and response chanting. So we're going to call and you're going to respond, okay? All right. So we're going to chant to Shiva. Shiva is a yogic deity, but Shiva also represents the spark of consciousness that resides in each and every one of us. It's the light of awareness, the light of consciousness that enlivens us all. So please repeat after me. Om,
Om
Namah
Namah
Shivaya.
Shivaya.
Om Namah Shivaya.
Om Namah Shivaya.
And Namah means I bow to or I honor, and in this case, Shivaya, which represents that light. So I honor that light that's within each and every one of us. When we say Namaste, it's the same. We're saying I honor, I bow to that light that I see within you that recognizes itself. So let's try it. Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya,
Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya.
Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya,
Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya.
I bow to the divine light that burns in me.
I bow to the divine light that burns in me.
I bow to the divine light that burns in you.
I bow to the divine light that burns in you.
Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. Everybody sing. Om Namah Shivaya, 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 Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya,
Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya.
Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya,
Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya.
I bow to the divine light that burns in me.
I bow to the divine light that burns in me.
I bow to the divine light that burns in you.
I bow to the divine light that burns in you.
Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. Everybody sing. Om Namah Shivaya, 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 Om Namah Shivaya.
Namah Shivaya, Namah Shivaya, Namah Shivaya, Namah Shivaya.
Namah Shivaya, Namah Shivaya, Namah Shivaya, Namah Shivaya.
Namah Shivaya, 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 Namah.
Everybody sing a little louder.
Namah Shivaya, Namah Shivaya, Namah Shivaya,
Let them hear you downtown.
Namah Shivaya, Namah Shivaya, Namah Shivaya, Namah Shivaya, Namah Shivaya.
anywhere. Whoa. So I'm often struck by things. So let's do that Om Namah Shivaya again, and then keep my sound on. Okay, go. Am I up? Joy to the world, the light has come. Let earth proclaim her peace. Joy to the world, the light has come. Let earth proclaim her peace. Joy to the world, the light has come. Let earth proclaim its peace. Let every heart proclaim innocence, and war will be no more. And war no be no more. And war will be no more. You know, you can take the girl out of the Christian church, but you can't take the Christian message out of the girl. There, I guess you go. And I wouldn't even say that. You know, my God is so far beyond that. Anyway, gosh darn. It's wonderful to have you here. So grateful to have you here. And I just have a few things that you can become involved in, because it's going to be fun. From 1 to 3, you can make scarves, and no sewing required. All these scarves are warm and wonderful, and they will go to people that are on the street and need them. Yay. Speaking of on the street, so somebody might want to join us for this one part. We're going to have a staff Christmas party. Indian food. I know. From Saffron. Yum, yum, yum. I know. And then we're going to make Christmas cards to send to the military, because we're a crafty group, and we're going to decorate cookies and put them in containers, and I'm going to be taking them out to the ladies of the street, because you know what? Everybody wants something from them. They either want something from them or they want them to change, and I want nothing from them except tell them that they're wonderful. Joy to the world. But we can also, for those of you doing scarves, know that what you're doing is you're giving something to someone. It's not earned, it's just a gift. And maybe that will get to them that they deserve receiving. Also, we have a giving tree and the coat drive that still goes on through next week. And the giving tree is right behind you, beautifully decorated. I'm so grateful. And this particular thing is from a family with one of our own. So if you see something, a lot of it's not something you have to wrap up, but actually a gift certificate. Just know that you'll be making quite a few families happy. Also, downstairs we have cookie decorating for you crafty folks. We love it. And so you can decorate a cookie, eat it, or give it away, or share it, or whatever you want to do, and then go make a scarf. Also, our holiday sale is still going on in the bookstore, which is also downstairs. And next week is the Holiday Sweater Sunday. Yowza. You know, that response does scare me. But whatever. God bless you. Yeah. And then plan ahead for the holiday services. So for those of you that have been here for many years, I know some of you are newish, but for those of you that have been here for many years, it's different this year, so please pay attention. Because it's different. On Christmas Day, Christmas Eve Day is a Sunday. Oh, and they changed it. Whew. Good slide. We will have one service in the morning at 10:30 with the choir. Joy to... Oh. Then we will have 2 services in the evening for the Christmas Eve service, which will also have candle lighting, and it's with Rafe. This is so fun. Oh, this is why people become conductors. Oh, geez. Oh, it's not too late to change my vocation, is it? Anyway, so it's going to be wonderful. It's at 7 and 9. Come early because we always fill up. And it's going to be, who knows? With Rafe, I just follow. Yeah, and it's a wonderful thing. And so we're going to be, well, you can be on your toes. You can do anything, but I'm going to have to really pay attention. So it's going to be wonderful. The whole day will be exceptionally great. I really want you to participate. And then there's one more thing. Next week, on the 17th, we are having the 3 Keys to Spiritual Living. It's a free class that gives you 3 ideas that we base everything that we do on. So if you're newish and you're going, I think I get it. Well, we never stray from 3 things. And so you can find out those 3 things. It will be in the annex, which is right across the street. We own that little White House on the corner. And it will be in the annex or on Zoom for all of you on Zoom. We love you. It's hybrid. Yay! You don't have to come into town or fly into the city to be a part of that class. We would love to have you participate. Those are all of my announcements. Let's just take a deep breath. How are you doing? Yes. I'm so glad. I'm great. I love the music was great. You are great. Life is great. I only had half a Diet Coke and I'm this way. Can you imagine a full can? Woo, baby. Yeah, stay away from me, actually. People are too much Diet Coke, Kellyanne. So let's just take a deep breath. And Richard, come on up. Isn't there a game show? Come on up. Oh, come on down. Come on down, Richard. Richard, thank you. Yay. Richard is here, and wow, we have some wonderful entrepreneurs in our community. So I'm just celebrating you all and the wonderful new year you're going to have and expansion. Yes, that's the nature of the universe. So it is also the nature of the universe to support what supports you. As you give, you shall receive. So let's just take a deep breath. And let the Holy Spirit, that spirit within you, speak to your heart and let you know what is yours to give today. It's not prescribed. And if it's a head trip, we'd love the gift, but we'd also love the blessing on the gift. So what is yours? Those are all the ways that you can give electronically. We are also really old-fashioned. We take credit cards on the envelopes and, seat backs in front of you. There's envelopes, your new credit card. We've taken cash before. And we take checks. We are so multidimensional, and you're loved. No matter what you give, you're loved. Get it? Loved. Let's have some good, come on, what's spunky? Spunky for the holidays. Okay, jingle your bells up here and give your gift.
What an amazing service again, Kathy Ann. Thank you. And I'm so grateful to you, Jake, and the band, and to Melissa and Rob. With your chanting, you opened our hearts. We bypassed the brain, we opened the heart so that we can listen to the powerful message. And before we end this service, please remember that there are many practitioners today whose joy is to pray for you. We have a prayer circle for those who want private. We have a box in the back that you can put your prayer. We have a prayer circle online. And after 12:30, you can have your own private individual session with a practitioner. Let us close our eyes and let us take a deep breath in. And with the next breath, let us focus in our heart. And the next breath will show us how expansive the heart can be. And it's in here that we can connect with God, that we can connect with the kingdom of heaven, that we can connect with the field of all possibilities, all that I can. And let us remember Mark Twain's wise words. There are 2 days, or the 2 most important days in your life, is the day you were born and the day you find out. And let it be today, or someday this week, that we all find out the reason we are here. Thank you. And I bless us all.
All right, everybody, it's time for the closing sing-along. Before we do that real quick, though, I would love to give some love to our tech team up there. Please give it up. Woo! We got Guy Staley on audio, Will Douglas on broadcast, Amelia Zabarek on lights and projections, and Coleman running the camera, pointing it right at my face. Ugh. Speaking of pointing right at my face, we're going to do the closing sing-along, and if you guys don't get on stage, they have to put my face on Zoom or on live stream. No one wants that. So please help me sing this last song, This Little Light of Mine. Joe, start it before I have to keep talking, okay? Thank you.